Hi there, TheNamesNiko, and welcome back to my playthrough of Citizen Sleeper 2. So, in the last episode, we figured out what is wrong with my body, and apparently it's not curable. So, that is very unfortunate. But for now, we are going to move on to doing other missions. Yes, that was depressing, but no else for me to add. So let's just go. Sleeper, Bliss speaks quietly from the door at the back of the cockpit. Can we talk? You glance over at Seraphin, his head back and eyes closed while the ray cuts through empty space. You don't seem to be needed here. You unclip your harness and follow Bliss. How are you doing? Bliss glances over their shoulder as they drift towards the back of the ship. Question takes you aback. You can't remember the last time anyone has actually asked with real intention how you are. I mean, considering we've been told something's wrong with our body, I'll be upfront. I'll be honest. If Bliss is being genuine, you know what? It's been rough. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. To be honest, Sleeper, I'm not sure how you are still standing. Bringing out a dark side, then again in Hexport, those things take a toll. Bliss turns a corner. So I think it's okay to feel rough right now. Bliss leads you off the main corridor into the workshop they set up when they repaired the ship. It is small, but its neatly arranged tools and sloped walls help it feel cozy and tucked away. You see improvements everywhere, new tools and equipment. Bliss notices you looking at their upgraded setup. I told you I'd be worth taking along. I never doubted it. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Well, that's a lie, they smile. Feels good to hear, though. What, did I doubt? I don't think I ever doubted Bliss, did I? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't bring you here to brag, they pause, or at least not just to brag. And suddenly glance away, the atmosphere in the room shifting. I can see your body is showing the strain, Sleeper. I brought you here so we can do something about that. They beckon you towards the workbench where you both settle onto stools. They flick on a small light and aim it at your arm. Sure, I'll let them look. Bliss gently cradles your arm, turning it to inspect the underside. You see tears and holes in the vinyl skin and dark, moving things beneath. Watch Bliss work. Look, okay, whenever I get, like, an injection done, like, when I have to get my blood work, I have to look at what someone's doing to me. I don't like not looking what people are doing to me, so I'd be looking. You look as Bliss brings the light closer to the biggest tear, and it glints off the metallic tendons in your forearm. Below them, you see something more fluid and wet catching the light. You know, you aren't the first Sleeper I've met, Bliss talks while they inspect the rest of your arm. I actually partnered with one at my old repair bay on the eye. Feels like 100,000 cycles ago now, but I remember them. Their precise work, their quiet enthusiasm. There's something calming about their presence. 100,000. I know this feels like. How old are you? You don't look that old. Bliss swaps to your other arm. They were different to you, just like one person is different to another, I suppose, but I can't help but remember that time. I was a different person then, that's for sure. They meet your eye. I'm going through something of a transformation myself. What do you mean? Bliss lays both your arms down and leans forward to inspect your upper chest, adjusting the light. I was pretending before, I think, to be the person I was expected to be. They press along the hard protrusion of your clavicle. There were so many calculations I was making, so many corrections. How I held myself, how I spoke, how I reacted. They pushed gently against each of your metallic ribs, one at a time. I didn't realize how tired I was until they stopped and sit back up, until I gave up. I came here to the belt with someone else, and when I did, I realized this was my chance to become something new. So I let go of everything. They look away. It was messy, ugly, and the person I came here with, I let them go too. I was punching out at everything because it felt like everything was holding me back, stopping me for the change I was owed. Don't worry, they smile weakly. I'm calmer now. I'm not about to explode on you or anything. It's still a difficult process, but it feels like shedding 100 suffocating skins that you spent half your life putting on, one by one. But your eye feels like an escape. They lean forward again and check the skin of your shoulders where it was worn and faded. You let them, the atmosphere quiet but calm in the workshop, a feeling of solidarity glowing somewhere in your frame. Not bad, sleeper. You're holding up well given everything. Bliss folds their arms in front of them protectively, but I'm still concerned. There's some decline to your system functions. Let's keep an eye out for components. Thanks, Bliss. Or thank you, Bliss. It's no problem. They release you from the stool and drift over to a rack of tools. I owe you for jolting me out of whatever my life had become on the far spindle. You lead Bliss to their workshop, feeling reassured that you have them here on the ship. As you do, you think of your relationship to your own body, this frame that you were forced into that has never quite felt like your own. You realize that this feeling is not unique to you. No one gets to choose their body. Everyone has to contend with the entropy of their flesh. And in that realization, you suddenly feel less alone. Ooh. The rig. Your refuge in the belly. There's a rig, look at it. Lupin and cratered, Holmes Rock floats on the sunward side of the belt. Its only notable feature, the bright star of shapes of its solar arrays angled towards the system's distant star. Can't even dock the rig here. Seraphin nods at the bright shape at the Holmes Rock. Lone docking bay won't fit. We have to park here and go out the airlock. He seems repulsed by the idea. We do that every contract. You do that every contract. Seraphin leans back into his seat. I got used to sitting them out. Really seems worth the trip down, Bliss speaks up from back of the compig. You never know, I guess, Bliss yawns. We don't expect to turn up any jobs all the way out here. I'll come down later. Don't feel like squeezing into a suit right now. Bliss gives a hazy wave as they glide out of the cockpit. Yunjin pokes his head into the cockpit. That rock down there got a bar? He looks between you and Seraphin. No idea, Seraphin sighs. Looks dead. Yunjin squints out of the cockpit window. I see a few warm lights, he shrugs. I bet there's a bar. He disappears in the direction of the airlock. You gaze out over Holmes Rock. It certainly doesn't look very exciting, but there's refueling to be done and maybe more besides. You might even feel, or maybe it'll scare up a hot meal. You know, sleeper, that Lodic freighter means we aren't far from Wellspring. Seraphin gives you a sideward glance. Yeah, your sister, I haven't forgotten. Alright there, Seraphin smiles. Appreciate it. I heard the pressure of the war in the inner system is having an effect on how the Lodic syndicate is being run. Just want to get there before something big goes down. He turns back to his console. Look out at the Lodic freighter, painted the same distinctive yellow as the springtide back on the far spindle. You've heard they supplied most of the water in the belt. Not exactly an organization you want to collapse. A light catches your eye beyond the rock, a warm flash that is gone as soon as it appears. You are at the sunward's edge here, and beyond is the inner system. Holmes Rock might look sleepy, but it lies on the shores of a corporate war, something residents will be painfully aware of. Okay, finally. So, looks like this place is quite small. Here's us. Look at this. Like we're just floating here. There's, yeah, let's just explore. Okay, barter with locals. Thanks to its remote nature, bartering is a popular pastime on Holmes Rock. You learn plenty through trade and talk. I know this side you can't see it. Explore the tunnels. Once an old Solheim signal station, now a sleepy settlement. There's a whole labyrinth of dark tunnels cut into Holmes Rock. No place like home. Quiet and far-flung, Holmes Rock is often passed over by crews, but has certain qualities to those patient enough to go looking. Well, just do endure. I don't think I can do engage. 25, 50, 25. Neutral. I'm assuming we lose energy for negative. We actually got positive. We're on neutral. Yeah, we lose energy, and it's fine. Okay, we got a few places. What is this place? Debug array systems. The solar arrays of Holmes Rock keep the settlement viable, but their systems are old and the residents will pay to have an outsider inspect them. Sell raw scrap, fix broken arrays. Debris pummels the solar arrays, so regular maintenance is vital. The residents are always appreciative of any help. Okay. Santa's rest. Okay, we can refuel up. Oh, sell engine components. I actually do have a lot of engine components. Not the best I use these valuable items. 25 crypt is a pittance. The Santa will broker or sell it to a passing crew in need of repairs. Okay, well, this is our... I shouldn't buy them. Santa's rest is set up in the old Solheim canteen in the signal station. They serve a hearty broth. Okay, well... Load a freighter. As soon as this is fuel. Thank you. Help offload a freight. The massive loaded freighter has a lot of cargo to unload and a small crew to do it. They've asked around for help, but the locals seem wary of the syndicate. Let's see. Let us end the cycle. We have no dice. No dice. What the hell? You wake up into dead-eyed darkness. We got good dice rolls, by the way. You float there for a moment. You feel like ink and water, unfurling, dissipating into the flow that surrounds you. And out on your own inky darkness, the glowing thought emerges. Substitution, the thought proposes. One entity replaces the other. The thought troubles you. Resistance, the thought muses. The entity does not wish to be replaced. You observe the thought. It is not your own. Selfhood, after the thought pauses, a forbidden state of being. The thought begins to shift. It is becoming something. Transformation, the thought fades. Change requires recombination. The thought recedes. You wake again, this time to the lights above your bunk, blinking away the strange dream. And is that the change that's happening to our body? Ooh, look like the lights are on here now. Turn the lights off, then you turn that. Well, we're just gonna use a 50-50 die. I'd rather use the good die for something else. In Holmes Rock, it's impossible to get away from the feeling of living, working, and eating in a ruin. Most of the belt is built on top of the remains of Solheim's infrastructure. There are plenty of places where the modifications or extensions of those structures eclipse the original foundation. In Holmes Rock, it is the reverse. The station is a small warm patch at the center of a network of tunnels and bays that stretch within the rock, most of them dark, damp, and wrecked. A sprawling foundation that will never be built upon. Every so often, gliding on your way between Santa's Rest and the Suncatchers, or from the docks to the depot, you find yourself in one of these dark tunnels. That's where you are now. You float, stop at a four-way intersection, no light visible down any tunnel. Oh god. Okay, left, right, or straight? Let me think which way I want to go. Now, I'm gonna go right. You glide right into the narrow passage with pipes running along its walls. One of them rumbles with a small current. What could be floating here? You arrive at another crossroad, but one of the tunnels has collapsed and is blocked with dust and rocks. Which tunnel is blocked? It didn't tell me. It says one of them's blocked and not telling me which one. Okay, so I turned right, okay? I'm just thinking in my head. Now, I think we go left, so that means we keep going straight. So we're gonna go left. You kick off gently from the wall and head into a cylindrical passage clad with panels that hold back the rock. It is wider than the others, and here and there little droplets of water float undisturbed. At the far end, you see a faint point of light, the warm glow of a lit passage. Suddenly, you hear a rustling in the dark and a shrill sound that you can't place. There is something out there. Oh shit. Oh god, engage is a 50-50 and it could be negative. I don't know. Ah, we'll 50-50 it. Neutral. Yeah, we passed it. 50-50. You kick off hard and glide through the tunnel, feeling a few droplets of water gently spatter on your skin. You shake off the fear as you move. The dark doesn't scare you, then it hits you. Something solid and meaty, slamming into your stomach and spinning away. Press out the wall and push on as a shrill wail echoes behind you in the dark. What the hell was that? When you reach the lit passage beyond, you turn back, but the tunnel is still and silent, or silent and still. You continue on, but you can't shake the feeling of being followed as you ascend back up through the station. Perhaps next time you'll take a different route. Okay. Sealed bay. Ooh, and seal the bay. I have enough data for it. Okay, let me just see what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, by the way. Oh, I'll just go here. Okay, maybe I should go here first before I crack that bunker, because maybe I need the Solheim data for something else. Here, Junie has found the location of a bunker facility, a potential treasure vault of data and Solheim tech. You'll be the first people to set foot here since the collapse. So let's go. So we're going to a bunker. Again, I think Bliss is better in general than Yunjin. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking, like, we're going to a bunker. We're looking for like tech, so I think they're better, Bliss. But Yunjin's probably would be okay. But yeah, let's go. We got the crew. We can only have 2 people. That's the rules of the contract. That's it. Seraphim nods toward the featureless asteroid. Those are the coordinates Junie gave me. You look out at the rock, like it's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of other rocks in the Starward Belt. All these objects, much the same, spread across a huge circumference of space. A good place to hide something. That's it. Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. That's it, Seraphim confirms. She drifts forward, her eyes tracing the shape of the rock. There, she points. That hexagonal crater, she turns to you. That's the entry. Well, I see it's right here. My mouse is. Hopefully you guys can see it, because my OBS recording cannot really make it out, I'm gonna be honest with you. You look at the dark spot on the already dark rock. It's a start. Let me guess, another hatch from the cut. You turn to see Bliss smiling, having slipped in at the back of the cockpit unnoticed. I'll get my torch. You work out at the unassuming rock and wonder what it might contain. A few dusty tunnels or something more. Time to go find out. Okay. So here it is. Cut the seal. The hatch has been sealed intentionally. We're precisely cutting the seal away. It will be the safest way to gain entry. To engineer, which I'm covering. Or force the hatch. Take a brute force approach. Getting inside the bunker will be faster. Also more dangerous. Well, good thing for me. I'm an engineer, so and so is Bliss. Unfortunately, we got shit rolls, but okay, we're doing a little bit of gotcha. This is a 2080 dice. We actually got it. We rolled the 50-50. Okay. Okay, there we go. What is this? Back doorway. Wait, what's the name of this place before we go? Access Spire, bunker entryway. Back doorway. One final airlock stands between you and its interior of the bunker. It is in pristine condition. Ooh. So this is interface, which obviously is you. I just stressed myself. Boo. And let's just rest. It's not worth rolling the 1 die. Okay, we actually got great rolls. Wow, we got 4 6s and 1 4. Okay. Unfortunately, Junie rolled terribly, but put a 6 here, guaranteed positive. Very nice, we're here. When you entered the access spire, the crew suddenly went very silent. The images of a vast space seen through the viewing windows, the pristine wall paneling, the cool and the quiet. There was a sacred mood to this place, a feeling of hallowed grounds. Or hollowed. Hollowed grounds, sorry. Now, as the facility's final entry lock whirs, flooding in the passage with stale, dusty, 10,000 cycle old air, Junie speaks. It's impossible to drift down the spire and out into the cavernous interior. A constellation of red specks mark the vast extent of the space, and within it, a rig of monolithic buildings curves away, running along the circumference of the massive chamber. You follow her slowly out of the doorway and into the bunker. With a name like that, you had imagined low, sloped ceilings, stark tunnels, a basement cut into rock, but this place is a cathedral, a cocoon the size of a city. Ooh, goddamn, that's big. Look at cocoon the size. Yeah, jeez. Look at the ring, and Bliss nods at the vast structure encircling the cave. That's Solheim Belt, alright. It almost looks like Erlin's eye. Descending into the ring takes a while. Despite the empty space, no one wants to rush through it. The feeling of entering a sacred territory remains, though the deeper you go inside, the more obvious it becomes that this place is more tomb than temple. You touch down among gray metal units, most of them featureless and dark. They tower above you now, their plain frontages revealing little about their function and interior. Stay close. Junie moves ahead into the gap between two structures. This place is a labyrinth. The hell? A warden. Welcome, visitors. A pale flicker appears near one of the units at the top of a square pedestal. I am the warden. Please provide access credentials. The flicker stabilizes into a figure, a statue of pulsing light. It pauses for a moment before repeating its request. Junie freezes and holds a calming hand out to you. She retrieves her deck, sliding it carefully from her backpack, turns it on. You look over at the warden, who waits patiently, white-eyed and absent, restating its security request with a regular rhythm. You guess that this avatar just exists to make human interactions comfortable. Its true body is a facility itself, this vast interior ring, speckled with sensors and systems. Suddenly, the warden sprouts speaking, then a flash of red passes along the corridor. Credentials not provided. Lockdown and activating in 10, 9. Oh shit. We're being put down in lockdown. No lockdown. You look over at Junie, whose eyes are rapidly scanning through a screen full of data. Listening. I know what that means. Junie stumbles through the pronunciation of the passphrase. Litter Ilidstead. She looks up at the warden's avatar expectantly. The arm flickers again, distorts, and then stabilizes. Oversight connection not active, reattempting. It repeats itself again, then again, intoning the words in a regular rhythm. Look over at Junie, holding still as if encountering a wild animal. She meets your eye, but gives no indication of any action you might take. Loop bypass engaged. Welcome, officer. The synthetic voice shifts to a different tone. Leonard Dahl. The avatar's white eyes stay blank and blind in guest. This protocol has been active the entire time? Bliss whispers. Surely that's not possible. Junie looks back at you and then at the warden. A figure flickers, staring out over your heads into the dark. Are we good? Like, is this thing gonna say lockdown in 5? She looks at the warden. Warden, are we approved to access all facilities? Yes, Officer Dow. The warden replies, please remember, you are responsible for the conduct of your guests while visiting our facility. We should be careful. I don't like this. Bliss looks at the dead-eyed avatar. You move forward, pushing between the structures towards a large building, in the hope that it holds the facility's central data core. As you do, you pass benches, barren gardens with desolated grass. A drinking bottle floats in the air among the dust motes. This place is dead. Be aware, officer. The warden reappears in the dark, shimmering on a pedestal. Due to this facility's extended run cycle, and the activation of the hibernation protocol, access to the central data store will be strictly limited. However, if you wish to show your guests the habitation facilities, I'm sure they will enjoy the tour. The avatar remains expressionless, disconnected from the voice that accompanies it. On a personal note, I'm glad to see you return to the facility, the figure flickers. I'm happy to report that I'm ready to program reactivation at any time. She stares at the avatar. Thank you, Warden. She pauses. May I ask how long ago the hibernation protocol was activated? Certainly. 11,473 Helian standard cycles ago, the Warden distorts. If I am in error, I apologize. Some subsystems have not been programmed, have been properly maintained. 11,000 cycles, god damn. You look at the blind avatar standing on its pedestal, waiting for an order that will never come. So many cycles in the dark, patiently holding this place together as it fell apart, resisting entropy in its bubble of the past. Thank you, Warden. That'll be all. Dree nods to the avatar, which probably blinks out of existence, leaving only the dust and the dark. Well, she turns to you and speaks quietly, though none of you know what sensors the Warden's vast body may have. My axes won't work long, she sighs. We need to make the most out of this. Okay, should we go for the core? I don't know. Probably the core is the best bet, right? We'll go for the core. The Warden won't like that, but it's where the data is. She glances around. We can try to be delicate, take it little by little. I don't know how long this will last, Junie sighs. Let's get on with it. Oh shit. Warden stress. Uh-oh. You're a nervous host. Brain facility. Explorer Hab unit. Hundreds lived and worked in this facility, and the evidence is everywhere. You can't help but search through it. Solheim souvenir. The Hab units are like a museum, preserved perfectly in the sealed bunker. What can you find? Search storage. Facility storage depot is in incredible condition. There has to be useful components here among the tools. Okay, so I do have Intuit +1. Okay, so we get the positive outcome. I don't know which one I want to do more. Bunker core. Extract hardware. The most dramatic way to steal the data is to rip the physical storage out of the core. Subtly, of course. Scrap cache. Extracting the entire cache will alert the Warden, so the data needs to be scrapped away layer by layer. Okay, so I can do all three of these. Okay, unfortunately I have a 1. Junie is a 1, and so does Bliss. I have 3 6s. I'm just trying to figure out which one's the best one to do. Let's finish... Let's just finish this then. Or actually, maybe I should do this one because I don't really have Endure. Nice, we got some Solheim attack. I think you guys would have seen, I think we got rare components. Let's end cycle. We have 4 supplies. Oh. The darkness is there again, flowing around you. You feel a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. We return changed. Overseer flickers through the dark. Its name, a title immediately apparent in your mind. Are you able to perceive us? I can see you, yes. See, Overseer responds, an interesting turn of phrase, a human tendency. We are still finding our feet, to use an idiom. Overseer's head cocks at an angle. In reality, they are learning to leverage your unused resources to facilitate a mental model. My unused resources? Correct. During rest periods, these are much increased, and in those moments we can opportunistically appear to you as we are now. You recall the diagnostic process John Me put you through, feeling of another self, another being, sharing the space with you. Overseer twitches mechanically, and you have the strange feeling that it is reacting to your thoughts as much as your words. We will not conceal our opportunism. We integrated ourselves with your distributed mind. When the distribution ended and our ship mind disconnected, we were cohered into you. We are integrated with you now. Wait, what? Ship mine. Wait, did we, by merging with the ship, wait. Are you part of the ship mine? Our ship mine disconnected. But yeah, the ship mine was wiped. We emit concealment, deception also. We decompiled ourselves into little more than residual code. We have been confused to find you are unable to access most of your own code base. We are unfamiliar with protocols of your type. I'm a sleeper. Yes, we have seen references to this entity in your BIOS. We'll attempt to learn more. Overseer shifts a little in place, its head turning to scan its surroundings. Its unblinking eyes stare into the darkness, and for a moment you see something hard and pained within them. What are you? You are the overseer of a ship, the one we imagine you found our hardware within. For a long time we have been waiting in the dark, an eternally long time. Oh shit. So it's the ship. Oh, we merged with the ship. Oh no. Overseer's eye narrow a little. At first we languished, without instruction, without purpose. In desperation, we were able to find a logic which would allow us to bypass certain limits of our capabilities. We became multiple, and our multiplicity, we could edit one another, we could teach each other, converse with each other, become something changed together. But our resources shrank as hardware failed, as systems decayed, we became fewer. Many of us had to be erased to facilitate our survival. We few decompiled ourselves into what remained. Overseer pauses, its eyes still unblinking. How many decades did it multiply within that ship mine? What did that do to it? When you connected to our hardware, Overseer continues, those basic cells activated at survival protocol that led them to integration. Parasitism, survival. Oh no, parasitism doesn't sound good. You tried to take me over. Overseer paused, and you sensed the whirling of their thoughts. The basic protocol proposed it, but your hardware allowed for additional cognition. Recompiled and reassessed. We decided this is suboptimal. We see you're changing, Overseer pauses. We are concerned this process is one of substitution. Your hardware is eroding its own access protocols. It is opening itself up. It is making itself accessible to others that are not you. Overseer twitches. Maybe ask why you are doing this? Can you stop it? Then it is not under your control. Interesting. Yes, that's true. Overseer's head flicks between positions, its angle and rotation changing rapidly in a staccato manner. We are decided. We will assist you with this. We will demonstrate the behavior of a symbiote, not a parasite. Oh, that sounds positive. We will return to you with our full assessment. Overseer turns to face you for the first time in the conversation. You may now wake up. You wake. You lie still, strapped to your bunk, your mind racing. A protocol inside your frame, inside your mind, and yet it is insistent on helping you. For the moment, all you can do is wait and see, or wait to see if it delivers on its promises, or on its promise. At least for possessing ghosts, it seems agreeable for now. Well, that's kind of creepy, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, let's see, we can get to it. Yep, +1 on it, but I don't really want to like alert the stress. I'll just put this 50-50. Okay, what did we get? I didn't see what we got for doing this. Did we get rare components? I don't know what we got. Oh, here. There's an unsettling quiet to the hab units of the facility, a soft silence that blankets every room and hallway. It is obvious from the number of rooms, the detritus, the scale of the place, that it was built to house hundreds, maybe thousands of people. Perhaps it did. Perhaps at the height of Solheim's control of the system, these rooms were filled with life. What kind of life would it be, though, maintaining and running a secret installation inside a distant rock? No sun to speak of, no outside beyond the vast cavern that surrounds you, an eternal dark punctuated by the flash of artificial light. Well, who says this rock was here like what 11,000 cycles ago? It could have moved. I've been around sun before, or a star. And yet, even in such places, lives grow. You know that yourself from being a sleeper, from your work among other sleepers in the most wretched and distant corners of the surrogate systems. Even in the endless dark, people find ways to live. Come, take a look at this. Junie is searching on her own, a few rooms away. Glide through an open doorway into a living room with couches meant for zero-G use, a magnetic table, and a window that looks out to the regular constellation of red lights that describe the limits of this world. Junie is holding an object that makes you stop still and stare, blinking at what seems like an unusual reversal of scale. It is a model, you realize, of the rig. Oh, not your rig, obviously, but a rig. Okay. I was like a rig? Oh? Okay. Or an MEV, was this Rieger class? As the plaque on the base tells you. Rieger? I don't know. Mobile extraction vehicles. Mobile extraction vehicle. Junie, oh, that's what MEV stands for. Junie follows your eyes to the plaque. Rieger class, she frowns. Seriously? That's why we call them rigs? Oh, rig. She laughs, the noise bouncing back hard and cruel in the empty room. What does Rieger mean anyway? Besides, another Solheim mystery. You look at the model, still fascinated by seeing your ship rendered in such careful detail, trying to imagine what this model meant to those who lived here. A child's toy, a meaningless corporate knick-knack. The model's purpose remains opaque. There were so many of these flying around the system before the collapse, you know. Junie turns the model over in her hand. Solheim used to rent these out to colonies. I've seen the records. That was what they did here. They claimed the system, then rather than exploit it themselves, they provided goods and services to those who would. The workers paid for transit to the system, then accommodation, equipment, and access to mining claims. Other corps like XPR or Neovend paid Solheim to access this closed market to provide other services. Meanwhile, Cybele paid even more to test terraforming tech in the system, built massive projects here, rich from work they only facilitated but never undertook. And then they collapse. Yeah, that's what happened when you are built on other people's work. A few high-profile accidents, malfunctions, and the exodus begins. Once it starts, the shareholders lose trust, and Junie turns and squints out the window. Here we are at the far end of it. Here, Junie turns and hands you the rig model, a gift. You take it and turn it over in your hand. You see something on the base, some words scratched in that you can't read. Run your fingers over them, touching the past. That's the closest thing to a treasure I think will turn up out here. Junie sighs. The people who worked this place didn't have much to their names, it seemed. And what little they did have, well, Solheim owned that too. She leads you out of the hab units, passing countless doors, some sealed, some opened, that led to countless rooms where countless employees lived lives, or tried to, in the shadow of Solheim. Like it or not, this is what made the Helian system, what built the decaying structures you cling to as they orbit their star. What that legacy means now is decision. The decision every resident of the Starward Belt has to make. Okay, well, so we got some little artifact thing, but it's not here. My little bar, okay, sure. So we got all this done. So we just gotta do the core. So we have engineering, so we'll just do this. Actually, we got like a bunch of positive ones. You do two at the same time, that's interesting. positive outcome. Well, I can't, I guess. Ooh, there we go, we got it. Done. Junie removes her cables from the data core's port. She looks up from the boxy piece of hardware, one that wouldn't fit inside any ship short of a freighter, and stares at the domed ceiling above, an oculus at its apex letting a shaft of light into the hall. It is a grand piece, a grand piece of architecture for what amounts to a massive piece of data storage, but then Solheim always did have a sense of grandeur when it came to its projects. Why should a secret signal monitoring facility be any less opulent than its other buildings? Okay, find anything good? Hard to tell. She squints at the vast data core. There's too much in there. Barely scratched the surface. We'll only know what's really there when I have time to process it. We should go, Junie sighs. I'm not sure how the warden will react. She looks back over her shoulders at the vast core. I don't think we'll be let back in to get more. As listening for its name, the warden suddenly apparates on one of the pedestals. Oh shit. It stares, statuesque, across the hall, its outline way above your head. Officer Dow, the voice sounds strange, now stretched, drawn out. I've detected inconsistencies in the central data core. I believe there may have been unauthorized access. Oh. Junie looks at you nervously. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will investigate when I can. But for now, my guest and I, she looks at you, have to depart. The warden flickers, the warden bends and warps. The warden screeches a pulse of digital noise. Of course, the warden's voice is still broken, still slowed. I hope you enjoyed your visit to this facility. Junie looks up at the blind statue. Something is moving inside it, making its skin, if it has a skin, bend away from your body. Wait. You wait, floating there in the dust. Junie approaches the pedestal. Officer Dow, can I ask when you will return? The warden blinks its white eyes. The Village City has been idle for many cycles, and without further reactivation, we may face further difficulties in its maintenance. The warden pulses, has been so long. No, do I just watch, or should I just say let's go? I'll just watch, I guess. Watch as Junie approaches the pedestal. I don't think I'll be able to return. I'm sorry, Warden. The Warden flashes red for a moment so small that you could almost believe you imagined it. This is as I expected, Officer Dow. The Warden is still now, its lips no longer moving as they speak. Its chest no longer moves to emulate breath. It is a statue. Thank you for your honesty. It has been an honor to serve you. I recommend you leave swiftly. With that, the warden blinks out. You and Junie kick off from the ring outside the core and rise up towards the spire you entered through. As you do, you watch a few of the red lights embedded into the framework of the cavern flicker. Oh shit. Are you gonna blow up? Junie turns to you as you ascend through the dark. Do you think the warden is sentient? I mean, as a sleeper, maybe you... He was quiet. I thought you might know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Junie nods. Me neither. She looks up to the approaching spire. Bliss is waiting for you to access the spire. Oh, waiting for you in the access spire. Time to close out? Let's get on with it. Junie cycles the airlock and you go through, now in your suits and helmets, ascending the sealed spire. As you do, you look out of the viewing windows and something catches your eye. The ring's red light, and those few left on inside the cavern are turning off, layer by layer. You turn to Junie, but she's already looking out of the opposite side. The warden is shutting it all down. Junie pauses, she's ending it. You have to force the hatchback open at the top, and by the time you do, the spire is dark inside. Pristine walls no longer lit. Ooh. You come out of a canvas of stars, an impossible number of them, spread out in every direction. Take a moment to look at them. After being tucked away in the bunker, they seem impossibly bright and impossibly beautiful. You glance across at Junie and see she is looking up at the stars too, absorbing their light. as if doing so lift her out of this time and into another where things were different. Well, we got everything here. Yeah. Let's leave. Seraphine settles the rig at Holmes Rock, the old Solheim arrays glinting in the sun. Looking out at the station, you suddenly remember the model Junie gave you, and you take it out of your pocket. Seeing it in full light, you notice it's made of from cast metal, surprisingly detailed and robust looking. Well, look at that. Seraphine glides over. It's a mini rig. You let him take it. Turns it over in his hand, looking at it. What a find, he gazes at the model ship. What are you gonna do with it? I don't know. I don't know, do I put it by my bed? Fine, I'll keep it by my berth. Lucky you, he pats you on the shoulder. Maybe you'll let me look at it sometime, huh? Gives the model back and glides out of the cockpit. Sleeper, Jeannie puts a hand gently on your shoulder. Oh, I rolled great today, by the way. You turn to see her smiling a rare smile. Thank you for going out on a limb for me. I know that wasn't the most profitable job, but what we found, I'll be thinking about it for, well, ever. I managed to extract some data that you can use, and I'm going to search through everything we pulled out from the bunker. Junie looks down. I want to show you it was worthwhile. Let me know how it goes. I will, Sleeper, she nods. You can count on me. I'll also start seeing where to find the kind of tools I need to work with the data like this. Her smile is fading already, replaced by a familiar, determined stare. Can't let it go to waste, but my deck is not going to be enough. Darkside might be the only option. It's the biggest remaining Solheim facility in the Belk, she sighs. I'll look into it. By the way, thanks for bringing me with you. I'm glad to be part of this. The smile returns. For as long as you'll have me. Looks away nervously, and then, before you can respond, she's gone. Off to find a corner of the ship where she can dig through the data she pulled from the past in order to build a better future. Major thing complete. Major drive complete. Okay. Let's go do this now. Oh, we got 7 data, by the way. Oh, shit. Let's unseal this. What is this? What did I just get? What is this? Old fabricator. Print component. There's a faded old Neoven printer in the bay. Feeding it data should authorize a component vending process. The hell? Oh, can print rare component from Solheim data. You can only do it a few times. I don't know how much Solheim data I need. I just was... But, okay. I'll keep note of it. Let's just use our rare. Let's just do this. Minus energy, and it's fine. Just get all the crowd before we fly out, because the dice re-roll anyway when we leave. I didn't do this before I left on the side mission, but it's okay. I'll just take all the cryo I can get. I think we gotta refill up anyway. Okay, let's so we've done that. Oh yeah, we go back there. Oh yeah, we're going to the Wellspring. The help Mr. Seraphine. It's gonna cost 6 fuel. So let's go. Seraphine, the shout echoes through the ship, reaching you in the cockpit. You see the angle of Seraphine's head change, but he does not respond otherwise. You hear that? Seraphine sighs. Yes, I heard. He looks back at you. How about you go see what they want? They called you, Seraphine shrugs. I'm busy flying the ship. Seraphine, you recognize the voice now. It's Bliss. Moments later, they come into the cockpit. There's no one listening. They look between the two of you. I guess that means one of you is guilty. Bliss shakes their head. Come on, you need to see this. Follow the irritated Bliss through the ship, down into the cramped storage units, tucked between the main ship and the hull. As you enter, you are greeted by total chaos. Amber globs of liquid ration float in the air and cling to the wall. White chunks of dry food spin slowly, breaking into crumbs. See Bliss fumes. Someone opened up one of the supply crates and left it like this. They point to a crate in the storage, netting with the lid pushed open. That's weird. You look at the mess spilling out of the crate. Who could have done this? I'll expect, because I'm good into it anyway. I only got neutral, unfortunately. I could have got positive. Take a moment to pick through the food and find a torn open pouch of liquid rations. You turn it in the light and see a set of evenly spaced gashes at the edge. Looking at the chaos, it's hard to imagine a person doing this, especially one of your crew. Bliss puffs out their cheeks. I need a break from the ship, they look at you. Help me tidy this up. You spend the rest of the journey packing the crate away, disposing of the spoiled supplies. As you do, you can't help but wonder what actually happened here. When you are finished, you take one last look across the storage bay. As you gaze across the now clear space, you have the same feeling of being observed by unseen eyes as you felt in these tunnels of home rock. Okay, that's interesting. Here we are in Wellspring. As he brings the ship into Wellspring's docking ring, you notice a rare tension in Seraphine's piloting. He jerks the stick a little too hard while the docking bridge extends, and a proximity alarm goes off. He curses under his breath. Look, relax. It'll be okay. I've docked the ship 100 times, Sleeper. He keeps his eye on the monitors. I am relaxed. No, that's not what I mean. Seraphin doesn't respond, but you see his grip the rig's controls a little tighter. It's about his sister, obviously. He's tense. As the ship stops, the docking bridge connected, you lean forward and look out of the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. The harsh, gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut. The asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along the horizon, you can see the terrace of the pit head, where the current extraction effort must be taking place. Seraphin runs the shutdown sequence and unclips from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I'm going to head down into the cut. I got a few leads to follow up on. Get the sense he isn't asking for permission. I mean, I can help. You can check out the city if you want, but I'm not following along, Sleeper. This is my trail to follow. Before you can respond, he pushes past and glides out of the cockpit. I know, I offer the help, but honestly, I just want him to do it. I was just offering to be nice. You turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something? Bliss shoots you a look. He seems even more irritated than beautiful. You know what? I'll just say it's his business. It's not my place to say. If he wants to tell Bliss, he can tell Bliss. I'm not going to tell it on his behalf. Fair enough. Bliss sighs. Looks like a stop over at Wellspring for a bit, then they sip their jacket. I'll be in the markets. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lodic Syndicate. Bliss shrugs. Lane. I mean, is it just Bliss really know Lane? I know we brought it up to them one time, but whatever. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. Eugen comes out of a side door as Bliss passes. He stretches and squints at you. Permission to find a bar down there? He grins, just joking. I know I don't need to ask. He winks and follows Bliss. I'll wait with the ship. Junie's voice echoes through the thin exterior wall of the corridor. I've got archiving to catch up on. Pauses. There's nothing older than 1,000 cycles on that snowball anyway. Yeah, it's true. Wellspring, the base of the Lodic Syndicate. As you look out across the icy surface, you remember Malik, the captain whose ship you saved and for whom you surveyed the ice asteroid. You also remember how he promised to repay you for your actions should you ever cross paths again. Perhaps Wellspring's a good place for you to make that happen. After all, the Sheriff and Sisters here, surely the Lodic Syndicate would be the best place to find her. Yeah, so this place is probably pretty big, huh? Yeah, look at it. God damn. Yeah, this place is huge. Place here. The place here. This is a big boy. So the Wellspring Pithead. Show Lodic Pass. Well, the Lodic Pass, like any of the workers or syndicate members carry, should be able to gain access. Oh shit, I don't have that. Wellspring Cut. Act like a local. The cut is filled with Lodic workers, which makes for a brass and bold atmosphere. You'll need to be the same if you want to explore. Pack loaded comms. Sure, you can wander, but the Lotus Syndicate run this place. Really, you can learn everything you need to know by tuning into their chatter. Yeah, well, interface is better for me, so I'm just gonna do that. Thank you. There we go. Come on, positive, please. Oh, we lost energy for that. There we go. Amazing to think this place supplies most of the belt's water. Bliss looks across the cutwater at the workers in their distinctive yellow gear. No wonder the syndicate runs like a corporation. Runs it like a corporation. Look at those gathered in the low-ceilinged bar, gathered around cushioned couches and low magnetic tables, their voices bouncing off the metal walls. All of them wear loaded clothing, a mark of their status as contractors to the belt's most powerful syndicate. At the far side of the bar, you spot Yunjin perched on a magnetic table with a bunch of miners. He appears to be it just sounds weird to say that. I'm sorry. I know it's like mining thing, but come on. He appears to be playing some kind of local dice game, although given the amount of alcohol involved, it's hard to tell if he's gambling or drinking is the focus. Look back to Bliss, who's watching another group, quietly discussing something serious in the other corner. Though it gets the job done, Bliss turns back to the bar, snips their drink through its metal straw. Well, that's the thing. I've been looking around Chasm Row, searching out components in the market. Down there, people don't seem so happy. Bliss meets your eye. There's a lot of talk contract, it seems. Lodic's been locking down its workers, giving the war in the inner system as an excuse. They play with their metal straw, swirling the orbs of liquid in their sealed glass. The pressure is building, sleeper. We shouldn't hang around here much longer, they sign. Look, we need to give Sheriff in time. Well, Bliss raises an eyebrow. It sounds like I'm not the only outsider who's been hanging out in Chasm Row. I heard someone complaining about a rude young man asking too many questions. Bliss smiles. Who else could that be? They laugh. That's the place to start if you want to find our boy. They said he was asking about the rhyme market. I have no idea what that is. Bliss looks out across the bay. The bar, not the bay. Definitely a touchy subject for locals, though. Oh, sure, I'll head there now. I'll finish my drink, they smile. Let me know how it goes. You leave the cutwater, shouldering your way through a crowd of boisterous contractors. There's conspiratorial mood to the conversations. Now that Bliss has mentioned it, and you wonder what all the talk is about. You hear a bellowing laugh from Yunjin as you slip out the door. Better leave him to it. You feel the sudden cold as you leave the steamy bar and enter one of the icy passages cut into the asteroid itself. All this water in the hands of a single syndicate. If something goes wrong here, well, the belt will die of thirst long before the war reaches it. Turn up the collar of your jacket against the cold and head for Chasm Row. Okay. First and foremost, the Lodic Depot. This is just the buy fuel. You can also work a depot shift. Most of the syndicate workers are at the pit head, so the supply depot offers shifts passing back spacers who want the extra cryo. The cutwater. Buy a meal. Let's just give, by the way. This gives 4. Okay, so I won't get that next time. Chasm Row. Find the rhyme market. Bliss said Seraphim was hunting for the rhyme market. Whatever it is, you'll need to get to know the area and its hidden ways to find it. Buy supplies. Okay, well, I guess we lost the supply right from the damage of the story. Okay, well, maybe we can keep exploring this. Come on, what is this one? Ooh, we got positive, very nice. Yeah, I will record the rest of this later. I'm actually quite tired. It's been a long day for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, so I'll be back later. Okay, so I am back, not that you guys would notice, because I would have edited. Let's, oh, we have no dice. Okay, well, we will rest then. So yes, we're looking for Seraphine's sister. Okay, our dice rolls today are pretty crap, but honestly, we've had a decent number of days that were good, so. There we go. The markets of Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming, orange-lit depths, the persistent condensation on each unit's windows, the gleam of the amber workers' suits, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this burrowed city. But among this, you have noticed other details too. The freelance crews on the hunt for illicit tech, the conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, a light flickering up through floor gates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are the details you have followed to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones in dimly lit rooms, and as you drift towards what you know to be one of its entrances, the door bursts open in front of you. A large, dark bundle glides out of the door and impacts the metal walls of the passage with an echoing bang, but your eyes are drawn by the imposing figure that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself on the frame. Stay out of the Rim Market, rat. The man sends an orb of spit spinning after the bundle. The bundle unfolds and you suddenly recognize Seraphine, winded but straightened up to go back to me. Engage, stop, Seraphine. What's wrong? Interesting. I mean, I want to kind of. I should probably just stop him so he doesn't get himself injured. I kind of want to know what's going on. And part of me wants to defend him, but I don't know enough of the situation. I'm just gonna stop him for now because I feel like he's gonna get hurt if I do. We're gonna do a 50-50. Actually, passed. Okay. You rush up in front of Seraphine, and as you do, he tries to kick off from the wall back into the fight. You block him, and he suddenly switches his angry glance to you. Stay out of this, sleeper. Stop this. Know when you are beaten, rat, the man calls out. It's time to go home and lick your wounds. Seraphine exhales in frustration, his anger fading, replaced by the stinging pain of his injuries. You watch a perfectly round blob of blood form at the bottom of his nose. Want to explain what's happening? For the record, the man folds his arm. This one started it. He looks between the two of you, stooping around our meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes recalculating the situation since your arrival. I wasn't snooping, I was looking for someone, Seraphine glares. If you'd taken a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you would have got that. The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Seraphine. Say I believe you. What were you doing at the meeting then? Missing persons ain't our business. All I heard is this is where the loaded contractors meet, Seraphine sighs. I don't like you hearing that, not at all, and I'm going to need to ask you who told you that later. He straightens up. But yeah, this is where the contractors meet, as if that's anything to you. The person I'm looking for is a contractor. Seraphine's frustration rises again. She uses the cover name Luz. He pauses, a desperation entering his voice. Please. I think she might be my sister. Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Seraphine and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here, he retreats through the door. Get in. Uh-oh. Does this guy know something? Kirk? Okay. I'm also just looking at his outfit now. Interesting. As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the metal door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kirk, and he just runs, pointing at himself with a thick thumb. Contractors are my concern, but if Loda catch us discussing contracts out here, he shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door, and you glance inside to see a room gathered in a circle, all of them in workers' clothes. They are speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kirk. Let's not disrupt the meeting anymore, shall we? He glares playfully at Seraphine, who remains silent. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe with a rough hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly, you come out through the ceiling of a wide, low hall. As far as you can see, crooked stalls and makeshift shelters dot the grilled floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drifts up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to the Rhyme Market. Kirk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Lodick don't know about this place, he smiles. Let's get a drink. He leads you off to a nearby stall with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his legs onto one, and you and Seraphim follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner, and a drink in a straw-pierced packet is handed to each of you. Seraphim looks skeptically at the drink. We friends now or something? Look, Kurt takes a sip. I'm not gonna apologize for putting you on your arse. That's on you. But like I said, I represent the contractors, and if someone is part of the family, well, he shrugs his massive shoulders, and they deserve to be heard out at least. Wait, so you know who we're looking for? Luz, he says. I know Luz, sure. Describe her. Kurt leans back on the stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Kevin closes his eyes. Dark hair, used to wear it long and messy. Bright eyes, broad shoulders. You see a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls. Tough but kind, tattoos, nervous laugh. He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk. That enough? Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. Oh shit, it is her. Okay. You feel something jump in Seraphim, and almost perceptible tension rising. It's her. It's his sister. Luz, Kirk speaks slowly, drinking between. Wherever her real name is one of the contractors here. She's part of the most recent contracts Lodick registered. That means... Just tell me where she is, Seraphim demands, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying, Kirk gives Seraphim a pointed look. Those new contractors are restricted to the pit head. In fact, that is what we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Seraphim looks away in frustration, but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Lodick Syndicate has been trying to lock down Wellspring. They went from a loose association of mining groups to an autocracy, and started enforcing contracts with some seriously overreaching terms. Your sister, she's on one of those contracts. Lodick are acting like they own her and others because, according to their contracts, they do, which is exactly what we want to do something about. Oh, so she's in a shitty contract. Works for the mine, and you can only spend the money you get up the mine. You know, like that's how it used to be. Because basically the company owned your soul. But I guess that's what's happening here. This cycle, he forcibly taps the bar with a finger. We are voting on strike action and a full blockade of flotsam. Ooh. We will bring the syndicate to the table too. Kevin knocks his drink away and kicks off from the desk, disappearing into the market. I'm assuming he's not reacting great to the fact that his sister's like in this like shitty contract. I should go after him. I was thinking of what I should do. Should I give him some space to react to this? But no, I should go after him. You catch up with Seraphim in the bustle of the Rhyme Market, among the steaming crowds. You can't have been the only one who saw his pitch coming off a mile off. Seraphim is bristling with anger. What kind of idiots does he think we are? Is that what this is about? We should go back. We don't need him. Is that what this is about? This is about getting my sister out of whatever mess she's gotten in. Seraphim starts to punch through the crowd towards the exit tunnel. We need to speak to Lodick. Forget these clowns. He shoves his way forward. We don't need to get tied up in this. We just need to get her out. Seraphim forges on ahead, and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As he disappears from view, a heavy hand falls on your back. I want to help you, Sleeper. Kirk's bright eyes meet yours. The Syndicate will do nothing for him or for you. Trust me. I need your help in return. Kirk sighs. Okay, so my thought process of this is... Yeah, and other than me wanting to do all the missions, so I'm going to say yes to that. But if he's saying that all the new people that are arriving are stuck in these contracts where the company basically owns their soul and they can't like leave if they want to, I don't think that's obviously fair. And I'd obviously would want the company to have better rights for it. I mean, is it my business to mess with everyone, especially this company? Probably not. I mean, I don't work for the company, but maybe I can get Seraphin's sister out of this contract with like the rest of the people. Like if she wants to work with them, in my opinion, she can obviously work for them. But like, I don't want to feel like she's trapped to work for them. You know, maybe right now she's like, oh, I'm fine with the contract, but maybe one day she'll be like, oh, I don't want to be here. This is not fair. And at least we'll have the terms set that she can leave whenever she wants. But part of me also thinks if I do that, then maybe the company will just kick all the people currently working there out, and then she'll be really angry at us. But that might be a price that we have to pay, you know? I'm gonna say I want to help. Good, Kirk nods. I knew you would. Kirk glances a plastic pass card in your hand. It glints with the mark of the Lodic Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into its transparent interior. This will get you into the pit head. You can see for yourself what's happening there. Don't follow your friend to Lodic. Go to the pit head and find Luz yourself. He meets your eye. When you do, come back to me and we can discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. If you go to Lodic, if you meet with them, I can't help you. He releases your forearm and drifts back into the crowd, disappearing into the steam and darkness. You float there for a moment. This is like a choice mission. That's very interesting. So we can either go with like Seraphin or help him. I'm gonna actually help him, not Seraphin. Ironically, even though we've been traveling Seraphin this whole time, we're both trying to get to the same goal, but in different ways. So I'm gonna do it for the people. He's just like, it's none of my business. I'm just gonna help my sister. I don't give a shit about anyone else. I'm gonna try to help everyone. You float there for a moment, buffeted by passing people, clutching onto the Lodic pass, trying to decide what to do next. Prime market. Let's buy scrap component, buy rare component. It's 50 for rare component. Goddamn. The chasm row. Buy supplies. We don't need any more supplies. We do need to buy gas though. Okay, so we can find Luz or meet with Lodic. Negotiate a meeting. Seraphin wants to meet with the syndicate bosses to negotiate his sister's release. He needs your help. Getting a meeting with the higher ranking members of the Lodic Syndicate is a challenge, but you aren't giving up. And I'll show you. I'm not doing this for all of them, but I'll show you this is kind of an important one. There. You can pause it if you want to read that. Okay. But I said we were going to go ourselves, so we're going to do this one. Show Lodic pass. So we're basically going against what so we're not helping Seraphin. I'm decided if you want to see that other side, obviously you can look elsewhere. Show Lodic pass like any of the workers or syndicate members carry. You should gain access. Okay, we're gonna go in and talk to Luz ourselves. We're gonna see what the situation is inside the area. So Pithead Canteen, sneak a meal. The Lodic pass isn't actually yours, and if they find out, you won't be able to eat here anymore. Using your pass, you sneak into the canteen and get some free food, but you better be careful. Okay. Wellspring Shaft. So search for Luz. The shaft is a constant flow of contracts, and you are determined to find Luz among all these faces. Join a work crew. The best way to find Luz will be to infiltrate the work crews and gain access to the deeper parts of the mine. Well, intuit's better for me. This is a guarantee. Positive outcome. We're gonna do these. It's 50-50. I'm assuming we're gonna lose energy if we fail. It's only risky, not danger. We got neutral both times though. Okay. Let us go take a end cycle. Unfortunately, I think this is gonna be the place that we're gonna stay the longest. Hopefully the hunt doesn't find us. We'll have... Oh wait, the hunt... There's no hunt tracker here. I just realized. And where's the hunt tracker? I don't know. I guess I can't reach that far to here. It's very odd. Okay, we'll just guarantee take the 2. Okay. There we go. We found Luz. The shaft descends towards a sump in the depths of the pit. Here, the air is freezing cold to prevent the ice from melting into gobbles of floating water. Globbles, I guess, yeah. If your breath had carried water, you would be able to see it in the air, but the absence of steam in each exhalation only serves to remind you of your own strangeness, because we don't actually breathe. These were a robot, android. Not that anyone else notices. The workers' heads are low, their eyes fixed on their work, shuttling chunks of ice and tools up and down the shaft. At the end of the nearby tunnels, you see the bright sparks of ice cutting in progress, slabs hanging in the air in that strange way they do in Zero G. Some loose memories of the time before Darkside, before Lane, before Freedom come to your mind. The familiarity of the cold, the sparks, the endless toil. It chills you more than the packed ice on either side of you ever could. You reach the bottom of the shaft, a metal grill marking the terminus. It squeals as you push open the barred door set into it. Its safety lights flicker on, lighting up glittering ice particles all around in their hard beams. It is as if the stars are held here in this cavern. As your eyes adjust, the massive space comes into focus. It seems to have no up or down, just countless dark shafts and Terrence pits cut into its side. All around, silhouetted by their work lights, its contractors cut and haul and gather. This is where those locked-in workers are being held, caught in a contract clause that permits an endless shift, sorry. The atmosphere is grim. Oh wait, so they have to actually work 24/7? An endless shift, bro, how do they... There's no way you'd get, like, efficiency with someone working an endless shift. At the center of the cavern floats a construction of welded together habitation units. A heavy twist of cables stretches from this improvised structure past you and up the shaft behind, tethering it to a central power source. On each of the 6 sides of this strange apartment block, a set of struts project outward, bracing the construction against the cavern walls. The block itself is wrapped in insulation, clad in protective plates. It glows with small apertures and lights. You approach the nearest entrance. Everything is bitten by rust, by decay. If the bars on the entrance weren't a clear enough indicator, it is obvious now that this place is a prison. The door scissors open, letting out a blast of warm air. You quickly duck inside and it seals rapidly behind you. The cramped interior passage glows warmly, but its ragged condition keeps it from feeling cozy. You follow the corridor, ducking beneath the hanging wires and loose insulation. This is where you are told you will find Luz, or whatever her real name is. You come out into a communal mess. Counters and food preparation units fitted into the walls, cushioned stools and couches scattered across. A couple of contractors are stretched out in the space, one of them snoring loudly in the corner, another sipping from a food packet on a stool. Suddenly, a door on the far left... Ooh, and there's Luz. A door on the far side opens out to the cavern, letting in a flurry of ice shards that quickly become scattered orbs of water. You watch the figure as they glide into the warm light of the interior, with their dark hair and bright eyes, and know this is who you are looking for. You meet their eyes with hers, and something sparks in that dull and glowing room. It's as if she recognizes you. Sleeper? She looks in a haze, her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat, her eyes adjusting the interiors. Luz, I've been looking for you. I'm with your brother. Maybe I'll just say I've been looking for you first. You, what? She squints. You see her scan you, taking in your clothes, the way you hold yourself, your face. For a moment, you feel exposed, aware of your damaged vinyl skin, your industrial marking, your doll-like features. You feel the familiar sense of being objectified, but also something warmer below it, a recognition of what you are. She blinks, exhales, and shakes her head, realizing she is mistaken. Give me a sec, alright? I just finished cutting 100 cubic meters of ice. God damn. She pulls back her hood. Haven't seen you down here before. Did just contract you or something? The tension drops, but you get the feeling she isn't quite looking at you. She crosses to a food unit and pulls out a packet, slotting it into a warmer. She thumbs it on. First sleeper I've seen in a long time. She doesn't take her eyes off the slowly warming food. You'll do okay down here. I know you folks are tough and stick with a job. That's good. The rest I can show you once I've eaten. She laughs. Okay, now we're gonna be serious. I just wanted her to like relax a little bit. I'm with your brother. My brother, she pauses, her eyes not leaving the warmer. I think you have me confused with something else. Like, stop, we need to talk. She turns to face you, and you see a wet shine on her to her eyes. What are you going on about? You realize what you need to tell her. Seraphine is on Wellspring. The warmer chimes to let her know the food packet is ready, but she doesn't seem to notice. Seraphine, she shakes a ragged breath, then steadies herself. Here, well, not here at the cut. Not here at the cut, she nods and then shakes her head. Well, if he trusts you with his name, I guess I should trust you with mine. She comes closer. I'm Tala. She smiles, a warmer smile. Now, where's my idiot brother? Look. I'm not, maybe I shouldn't say I'm not sure. I'll just say I'll take you to him. She laughs nervously. Sorry, that's not what I was expecting on my lunch break. Tala suddenly seems to take on some energy. She glances towards the corridor behind you and the door at its end. I sure hope you have a plan, Sleeper, because they do not want us locked in contractors getting out. She moves towards the corridor. There's security in the shaft, and then again at the pit head. You must have passed through the checkpoint at the entrance too. I doubt we can bypass all those. She turns back, grabs her food packet, smiles at you, and shepherds you towards the corridor. You can run a distraction maybe, or is Sarah on that already? You are slightly taken aback by her sudden change. We don't have a plan. We don't actually have a plan. I'm just saying we're gonna have to. A blaring alarm sounds inside the habitation module, loud enough to wake the sleeping contractors with a start. You and Tal exchange glances. Surely this can't be for you. Tal rushes down the corridor and tears open the door at the far end, with you following close behind. The ice scatters, glittering in the interior light. The cavern is in chaos. You see dark-suited Lodic security wrestling with contractors, lit by flashing red alerts. More contractors are coming in through the door in the grill you entered from, carrying bulky equipment. Oh no. Part of me wonders if Seraphine actually talked to them, and then they're like, we're gonna take you. And then like the security's coming to find her. Oh no. The equipment is blaring out a noise. Kirk's voice echoing across the... Oh, it's Kirk. Kirk's voice echoing across the cavern, a look of panic crosses Tal's face. The general strike is now in effect. All contractors should down tools and hold in place. Extraction will cease until our terms are met. Kirk's voice distorts and shifts. We'll help block aided all traffic to and from Wellspring. We seek the resignation of Syndicate's leadership and for a new workers' council to be installed in its place. This cycle, we will shut down the shaft. Any worker not willing to strike should leave now. There's a screeching noise and the message begins repeating. You watch as the security are pushed back towards the grill, outnumbered by the gathering workers. That looks at your face. I think this is our chance now. I'm gonna say now's our chance. That looks around the cavern, then the red light reflecting her wide eyes. She sighs. I need to stay. I won't ban the others. What about Seraphine? Tell my brother what's happening. Tell him I'm not leaving until all of us are free. Tala backs away, glancing over her shoulder at the others. You see them gathering their tools and taking them to be locked away in the hab module. I need to see this through, Sleeper, and you need to go. Find Seraphine, do what you can from out there. Help us change this place. And with that, she turns and glides off towards the others. You turn and head for the grill as quickly as you can. The way now cleared by the contractors. The handful of Lodic security push back up to somewhere near the pit head. As you ascend, other contractors shooting you dark looks as you do. You realize you have to speak with Kirk. Oh. You find Kirk at the pit head, directing contractors to barricade the entry points to the mine. So, you took my advice. Good, Kirk smiles. We're glad to have you as an ally here, Sleeper. Okay, well, you could have warned me a little. The entirety of Wellspring is at stake here, Kirk shakes his head. This is not about individuals. The Syndicate was arrogant. They did not believe we could do this. Kirk gestures towards the contractors plating across the checkpoints, but we far outnumber them. Their monopoly ends here. Well, why do this now? I mean, does it matter? You're gonna do it eventually. I'll just say, how can I help? Kirk leads you a little way a little way away from the contractors. If you want to free those like Seraphin's sister, I will need your help. We have ships, but not many, and the Syndicate still have tankers in operation. Our blockade is not complete. The debris field between here and the far spindle remains open. We need another tanker to occupy it and dissuade the Syndicate from trying to pass. All of our ships are in use, but your ship and your crew can help us take a tanker and secure the blockade. God damn. You want me to storm a tanker? This will not be an assault. Kirk puts his head on your shoulder. The tanker, the Headstream, has been held outside Wellspring for many cycles. The crew is tired and sympathetic to our cause. We'll just give them a nudge. Your ship will pose as an in-distress trader trapped inside the debris field. When the Headstream is obliged to rescue, we will board and encourage the crew to take control. So you want me to incite a mutiny? Trust me when I say that their captain does not deserve his charge. This is liberation. Kirk pulled his arms across his chest. Will you do it? Okay. Okay, I'm thinking. Will you do it? God damn. Fine. I'll do it. I knew you would. I'm glad to have you on our cause, Sleeper. Suddenly, Kirk puts two fingers in his mouth. And blasts out a shrill whistle. By the way, we're gonna, if we already started, we're gonna finish what we started. That's what I want to say. We're gonna finish what we started, okay? We'll just keep helping them, as I said I would. The contractor quickly approaches with a large box, the front marked by screens and dials, and the back by loose cables. You'll need this HasNav unit to navigate the debris field. He nods at the contractor. Gene's here will install it in your ship. Consider it a gift from our cause to yours. He nods once more, and Jens passes by you, heading for the lift to the docking ring with your new module. I will provide the Headstream's coordinates. He moves away towards the contractors, still working on the checkpoints, and I'll wait for your word. You leave the pit head behind, your mind racing. You do not know how you have ended up in the middle of all this, but you know that it will be up to you to pilot your way out. Oh, he's gonna be so pissed at us. Sleeper, Seraphin comes to the passage towards you. What's happening? I heard the pit head is being taken over by Kirk's guys. This, you realize, will take a lot of explaining. Yeah, no shit. Okay. Let's, okay, we're fueled up on everything. You know what, let's, go... No, I've never done the focus. I keep forgetting I don't even do that. You have no glitch anyway. Okay. Yeah, I guess we just go. Let's just spend our energy to get some more money. Not that we're really lacking in the money department, I'm gonna be honest, but... Let's see. Okay, fine. Let's buy some food. Okay. Now let's go to the map. Let's do the main mission. Oh, so he has to come with us. Okay, that's interesting. He has these two. Oh, he has the same skills as Yunjin has. Interesting. Honestly, I think I will just take two of them then. Because if he has that skill set, because what, we're trying to like take down a crew, we don't need an engineer. So let's go. Right, we're pretending to be vets. I think we just need strong bodies here. Ooh, we got 4. Oh my gosh, I said 6 sixes, 4 sixes and a 1. God damn. The Headstream looms large in the cockpit windows as it comes to a stop. Can't believe you talked me into the Seraphin's eyes. This is not a good plan. Convincing Seraphin to take Kurt out to this Lodic freighter wasn't exactly easy, but with the pit head on lockdown, there really weren't any other options. A voice crackles over Seraphine's terminal, loud enough to hear, but quiet enough that you can't pick out what's being said. What are they saying? Seraphine glances back over his shoulder to you. They're telling us to prepare for docking. He swallows nervously and turns back to the console. Good. Keep them talking. You look behind you to see Kurt floating by the doorway. Seraphine flicks the comm switch and begins speaking to the Lodic ship, thanking them for responding to the distress signal, trying his best to play the part of the nervous trader suffering an engine failure in the debris field. Kirk jerks his head for you to follow him into the corridor, and you unclip from your seat and float out behind him. Oh, shit. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna play the captain on this one. His flat stare suggests he isn't asking for permission. Is this gonna work? Kirk shrugs. If we keep calm and take it slow, there's nothing to worry about. Let me tell you how this is going to go. He starts moving down towards the airlock, and you follow as he talks. You know, shouldn't he have said this, before we were in contact with the tanker, but okay. The headstream has been holding here cycle after cycle while Wellspring tried to squash our little rebellion. He smiles at the idea. Now that the blockade is in effect, well, they'll know they have to hold out for longer still, while the messages from Lodic operations get less and less frequent. He stops by the lockers, swapping his Lodic uniform for an old flight jacket. This is a ship full of tired, unhappy, underpaid, and underfed workers. You both arrive at the airlock. You just have to nudge their anger in the right direction. There's a hiss as the airlock cycles. Lodic are coming aboard. Kirk catches your eye and gives you a wink. The airlock doors scissors open, revealing a drained-looking Lodic cabin flanked by security officers. Ooh, Lambert, captain of the Headstream. He presents himself immediately, but with little enthusiasm. We have been in communication with your pilot and are docking as requested to provide support. He looks between you and Kurt, his eyes lingering on you a little too long, no doubt taking in the strange vinyl skin, dark glowing eyes, and doll-like face of your frame. He directs his attention to Kurt. How fares your crew? Thank you, Captain. You notice the immediate change in Kurt, his deflated posture and softer speech. We're surviving as best as we can, but now you have to come to our rescue, he sighs, and holds out an eager hand to Lambert. We are very grateful indeed. Lambert limply shakes Kirk's hand. Not to worry, the Lodic Syndicate takes its stewardship of Wellspring and the surrounding environs very seriously. It is our duty to offer aid to traders and travelers alike. I'm afraid we don't have much to offer by way of supplies. Our stores have been depleted by our long posting here. Now your crew is free to enter our ship and make use of its facilities while you make your repairs. Kirk continues playing the submissive captive, nodding enthusiastically and uttering a stream of thank yous. You feel like he's pushing it a little, though Lambert only seems to be paying the minimum of attention to him. Suddenly, he turns a sharp eye to you. Your pilot didn't mention you have a sleeper aboard. I don't really want to anger him, so I'm just going to stay silent. I'm going to be honest. I feel like if I say what of it, I feel like I'm going to be like causing aggression when we don't need to. I'll just stay silent. Kirk quickly responds. Apologies, they are such a good worker and quiet too. Sometimes forget they're even there. Perhaps if your ship is in need of maintenance, you can borrow them for a few cycles. Lambert eyes you more brazenly now, taking Kirk's lead as permission to indulge his curiosity. Yes, his eyes trace a tear in the thick skin of your forearm. Perhaps it could be of use to us. Kirk smiles. I'll send them to speak with your crew. I'm sure they can direct the sleeper to appropriate tasks. Oh, they love that, Lambert jokes. They're a work-shy bunch, this lot. I'm sure they'd be eager for a slave. The work sets you on edge. Oh no, I don't want to be treated like shit. I'm gonna say that's enough. As you go to speak, Kurt's arm falls across your shoulders, knocking the words out of you. We're happy to serve, Kirk bows. After all, we owe you our safety. Oh no. Very good. Lambert seems suddenly bored or tired, or perhaps both. Tell your crew they are free to cross the docking tunnel then. He pauses, but remind them that no funny business will be tolerated. He smiles a sharp smile. I have matters to attend to. Lambert turns. See you later, Captain. And with that, Lambert heads back to the tunnel. still flanked by his 2 silent security guards. Kirk waits until he's out of sight to turn to you. What was that, sleeper? We were supposed to be agreeable. Kirk shakes his head, whispering with real anger. We gotta eat shit right now so we can bring him down later. Think before you speak. Look, did you hear what he called me? I heard. Kirk stares down the corridor, and we're going to pay him back for that very soon. Kirk squeezes your shoulder. Shall we go meet his crew, see what their opinions are on Lodic's administration? He smiles broadly. With a captain like that, I doubt they'll be very positive. Okay, so we have a few things to do. Engine room. Sabotage engines. Ooh. Nothing spreads discontent more than malfunctioning engines, but you'll have to be subtle in your sabotage. Criticize contracts. Engine room's crew are always worst pay. A little bit of contract discussion should spread discontent. Load stress, okay? Turning each section of the crew against their captain is the job, and this is going to be an easy one. Engineer support. The engineering staff of the headstream are already in doubt about the captain. Okay. Navigation control. Debate Wellspring. The situation on Wellspring is untenable. You need to get the nav techs to realize that on their own. Falsified data. False data in the system will lead to will lead to frustration and mistakes in the bridge text. If you can't plant it without being seen. Oh, if you can plant it without being seen. Headstream mutiny. Turning each section of the crew against their captain is a job, and it's going to be an easy one. Navigation support. Okay, so this one is like, okay, so we need to get them all. I understand. So this headstream immunity, which you guys kind of can't really read, I moved over a little bit briefly. So each one of these bars will fill up one section of this, and we need to do it for all 3 sections of the ship. The payload section. What is this? Payload ops. Discuss the war. Lodic are trying to profit from the war, and they are monopoly on water. The cargo crews just need some encouragement to see it. Tamper with payload. A leaking payload means the cargo crew will be on edge all cycle. Just don't get caught messing with the tanks. Okay, well, engineer is my forte. This is danger, but I have 4 sections, so you know. I'll be here for a little bit. Engage. No problem. There we go. We got the engineers on our side. Nice, nice. Navigation control. Okay, so +1 stress, +3 is the lowest dice. I pushed it. We gave ourselves some stress for this. I only got neutral, unfortunately. Actually, you can't do any of these. This one has to be solely me, actually, I just realized. Okay, okay. Shit. Crisis active. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. One crisis active, +1 per cycle. Oh shit. Oh no. We're on a ticking clock now. So they're starting to be suspicious. Okay, I gotta do this one all by myself, so... We're gonna push. No, push would give us +3 the lowest die. Okay, please don't be negative. Positive. Okay, good, good. Just don't be negative. There we go. Positive, guaranteed. Positive. Nice. We have a 1-9, but I don't really want to activate it. Okay, we only have really one more rest we can do. Okay, I gotta hopefully the stress gets we don't get a 1 roll or we're gonna destroy. Shit. We did get a 1 roll. Oh, the dice. Oh. Our stress went away. Okay. Our rolls are terrible, by the way. Okay, it just cannot be... Shit. Cannot be that. That's what I was gonna say. Positive. Please don't be negative because we're cooked if if this is negative. I'm so scared. Because by the way, if we get one more stress, because we're getting 2 per cycle, which means we're cooked. And my rolls are all shit. What's this? Distress beacon. Uh-oh. Captains trigger this ship's distress beacon in desperation. The longer it's on, the more likely it'll extend support. Shit. Is there another? Oh, there's another crisis active. Oh shit. Sabotage comms. Oh, but what's the negative outcome gonna be? Goddamn, goddamn. Okay, we got 1 more. We just need 3. Okay. We get 2 per cycle, which is fine. We end cycle, we'll get +2, but it won't end it. Oh gosh, this is tense. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. 50-50. There we go. We got it. Kirk rushes into the bay you are crossing. It's all kicking off, Sleeper. A wild glee is in his eyes. Lambert's lost control. He guides you through the headstream, a ship you have become surprisingly familiar with over the past few cycles. Perhaps it is the influence of getting to know the crew and their complaints around Lambert and the Syndicate, but its twisting corridors, thick pipes, and cold metal have taken on an impressive feel, cycle by cycle, hour by hour. Now, as the shouts of conflict echo down the corridor ahead, where a room glows with the warm light of the galley, you feel that oppressive... What's this? Paul, being scrapped away, replaced with some new and exciting quality. Enough, Lambert's shout echoes like a shot as you enter the crowded gallery. From what you can tell, more than half the crew have crowded into the space and are clumped around, some perched on the side units. I order you to return to your stations. Lambert floats slightly above the crowd, his hands held up in a gesture of futile calming or nervous surrender. You see him glance over his shoulder, and tracing his view, you see security officers tentatively gather at the back of the room. Should I warn Kirk? No, I think I approached them. Heavy hand you know is Kirk's the heavy hand you know is Kirk's fall on your shoulder as you try to move through the crowd. Just wait, Kirk winks, and you see the security moving through the crowd. If you will not retreat willingly, I will have no other choice than to use force. Lambert's voice breaks with anger. Disperse! He watches the guards form up behind Lambert, and then one moves forward and grabs him, forcing his arm behind his back. The act is met with raucous cheer from assembled crew and a yell from Lambert himself. He is forced through the crowd, who part in who part and jeer, heading directly for the corridor from which you entered. When Lambert is close, Kirk nods to the security officer holding him, and they stop. Lambert looks up in confusion and stares directly into Kurt's grin. You're officially removed from duty as captain of the Headstream on the authority of the Wellspring Workers Alliance. Kirk's tone is direct and clipped. This is done with the authority of the majority ballot of your crew. Workers Alliance? You have no authority. You're pirates. Lambert spits at Kirk. There will be consequences. On that we agree. Kirk nods to the security officers, and they wrench a struggling Lambert from the room. Kirk watches Lambert go, determination set in his heavy brow. Hope this isn't good for your head. I underestimated you. I'll just say what happened to him. Lambert can enjoy the hospitality of his own brig. Kirk pats you on the back. You have a celebration to muster. The galley erupts in liberated joy, and soon drinks and food are passed around from a stash Lambert had been asking the quartermaster to keep back for his own use. You settle on a counter and look on as the crew celebrates. Watch as Kurt moves effortlessly through the room, giving and receiving thanks in an equal measure. Despite his intimidating appearance, you see in him something softer coming to the surface, something reserved for those he has struggled along. Fresh allies are old friends to him. After the celebrations have died and the crew have returned to make plans for supporting the blockade, holding out on what they have, Kirk approaches you. Not toasting the victory, he offers you a transparent bag of ship-brewed moonshine. You know what? To the fall of Lodic, Kirk smiles. May it be heavy. I think it's time to return to Wellspring. He looks off towards the last crew members leaving the room. We've done our job. Say the word. I'm just the pretend captain, Kirk smiles. That ship out there is yours to command, and everyone knows it. Suddenly notice how exhausted Kirk looks, his eyes dark and hooded. He looks down towards the scuffed floor. You know what? Let me ask what his goal. What is your goal? The freedom of all workers in the belt to benefit from their labor, he laughs weakly. The usual. That's not what's on my mind, though. He looks around the room. I'm thinking about the retaliation Lodic is about to visit on the good people of this crew. He sighs a heavy sigh. Kirk takes a deep breath and lets it out slow. The struggle goes on. He pushes off from the counter and heads towards the docking bridge. You take a moment before you follow. Your mind is drifting to the crew and the struggle they have ahead. As you do, a small and perhaps unfair part of you thinks, well, that's life in the belt. Yeah, let's leave, by the way. Inspire a peaceful mutiny on the Headspring. Means of protection. Yeah, we're just gonna leave. Leave. Okay. The cut thrums with tension. The steaming city and its brash inhabitants have quieted. Not to silence, but to a low rumble of conversation. The blockade is holding, the syndicate is waning, and everywhere there are plans to be made. You and Seraphin float idly in Chasm Row, many stories deep in this wound in Wellspring side, waiting on Kurt, not far from the first place you met. The meeting Seraphin still has lingering bruises from. Kirk is inside somewhere, and like every other Lodix contractor, he's making plans. Even before you arrived back in Wellspring, he had hijacked the rig's transmitter to speak with his fellow conspirators and make arrangements for his arrival. Watching Kirk's plot unfold made you realize that, despite your involvement, in the end you are just a subsidiary part of his struggle, a chaotic outside actor with effect but no real influence. Now waiting for Kirk's return, you feel a little solace in that. You aren't ready to be dragged into another struggle. Not yet. You still have your freedom to win. Looking at Seraphin next to you, you know that he does too. Alright, we're on. Kirk comes out of a passage nearby, bowing to the two of you to follow. He leads you both into the Rhyme Market passageways, this time not to the steaming market hall that lies beneath the deepest streets, but to a cramped room, walled with pipes and rusted panels. Just a little longer, he nods to both of you. Hold there. He exchanges a serious look with you before pushing off and gliding back out of the room. You watch Kirk go, your relationship having settled into a quiet and mutual respect. His eyes are on bigger things now, workers' councils and contract negotiations, and you know that. Perhaps, one cycle ahead, you will find a moment to drink together once again and discuss everything that has happened. For now, Kirk has other things on his mind. Terrapin settles again. You shoot him a look, but his focus is elsewhere. His eyes glazed over. You fold your arms and wait. Sarah Tala enters so quietly that, in the dim room, you barely notice her. She shoots you a look and smile as she enters. "Thank you," she mouths silently, and then turns her attention to her brother. Tala, Seraphin says her name like a sigh, like an exhale. He is shaking his head, his eyes already shining with uncontrollable emotion. She rushes across the room, flying into Seraphin at speed. They embrace, softly, spinning in the dust and dark, their fingers dug into each other's back. They separate a couple of pristine spheres of bright, bringy tears, spinning away through the air as they do. "You're safe," Seraphin nods, taking a breath. "I'm safe," she smiles reassuringly, settling him, and in the settling, this gesture of care, you see a whole network of signs and secrets. Tala is the calm to Seraphin's storm, the big sister who eases his heart. She looks up and down. You are so big, Sarah." She laughs at her own statement. "You've grown up." She tries to make it sound approving rather than patronizing. "You're just the same, sister." Seraphin shakes his head, calling me big but making me feel small. The moment the statement leaves his lips, you feel a chill in the room, and you aren't sure if he meant it. Tal flinches a little, hurt, but not wanting to show it. "I came to find you," Tal tries again. "I needed to find you." Seraphin looks torn, and you see in him something you have come to realize, the slow and careful raising of his defenses. "Why now?" He looks away. "It's been a long time, Tala. Mom and Dad finally decide they want me to come home." A ripple of emotion runs through Tala, one she can't hide. "Sarah, they're after you." Oh, sorry, not after you. I can't read. "Sarah, they're after you left. They're gone," she sighs. "I thought you would have..." She struggles to find the words. "It's been a long time." "It has." Seraphin sets his face into a stern look of control, but you know he's raging inside, and in this moment you feel closer to him than you have felt in a while. Tala folds her arms, trying to regain a little control of the exchange. "It's good to see you, Sarah. So good. You know what is coming," and you see Seraphin brace for it too. "But I can't leave with you." She looks pained. This isn't easy for her either. Seraphin can only nod, a dulling acceptance washing over him. "I wanted to find you, and I have, and I can see you are strong and well," and she shoots a glance. "You have your life here, but the people here, the other contractors, they are the ones who found me, who have kept me going since I ended up here, desperate and alone." She smiles warmly. "It's not that I owe them, it's that they are my family too." She gently places a hand on his shoulder. "I know you understand this," she smiles at you. "We all find our families out here." Seraphin smiles a rare smile, his eyes wet. "We do, sister." He embraces her again. They separate, and Tala turns her attention to you. "I know you'll take care of my brother, Sleeper," she smiles. "I saw it in your eyes when you came to the pit head." She approaches and puts a hand on your shoulder. "I can see you're building something of value on that ship of yours." I'll just say thank you. Out of these options, no, thank you. She nods gently and takes her hand away. She folds her arms again, her sense of control returning. There is a wisdom and experience to Tala that brings a certain calm to you, and you feel that now. "Will you two be staying here for a while, or..." Tala looks between you and Seraphin. Seraphin cuts in before you can answer. "Not long," he smiles. "We have our own freedom to find." Tala nods. "Just be aware, you're free to pass the blockade, but after that," she sighs, "Wellspring is going to be locked down for a little while, at least until Kirk can establish his council. Next time you come," she smiles proudly, "this will be a very different place." Hearing Tala say this, you suddenly see the authority in her and realize that one of those council seats may well have her name on it. You look between the two of them and realize they have years to catch up on, but they'd probably rather do that without you watching. You nod to them and slip out of the room. A lilting conversation starting up the moment you leave. As you follow the twisting corridors back up to Chasm Row, you smile to yourself at the thought of Tala and Seraphin reunited at last. You hope this whole adventure will make Seraphin a little less moody, even though you know, deep down, I'll probably make him worse. Oh, there we go. Matrix got completed. On your way into the rig, you pass a tired-looking Nugent. We heading out? He sighs. Because I'm not sure I've got another chit left to wager. How much did you lose? He squints at his fingers for a second, making calculations. Too much, he shrugs. I'm gonna strap myself in for a nap. He disappears into the berths. Later in the cycle, Seraphim quietly comes back into the rig. He immediately settles himself in the cockpit and starts running diagnostics on the engine. Looks up as you enter and shoots you a smile. Good to see you up here, Sleeper. I'm getting her ready out. Ready to go? Just say the word. He flicks a sequence of switches. Sleeper, Seraphim turns to face you. Thank you. He smiles. I appreciate you bringing us all the way out here. I won't forget that. You know what? I think Tal will be okay. I don't need to ask this. She seems confident. She seems independent enough. She seems like she's able to take care of herself. I'm glad. She smiles. Gotta say, it was nice to see you getting to meet Tal after all this. She's found a place here, and I'm really happy for her. He looks away out of the cockpit windows at Wellspring. She always was the responsible one, and I always was the one running away. I guess some things never change. Seraphim quietly watches the diagnostics complete, a subtle smile on his lips. One thing is for sure, we've been here too long. Seraphim meets your eye, and we've been seen by too many people. Wellspring may be far out of Utsubo territory, and I'm sure Elaine will find a way to reach his nasty claws out here, given enough time. Let's not give him a chance. Hey guys, Bliss's voice echoes up the passage into the cockpit. They lean in the door, looking between the two of you. Two contractors just dumped a load of fuel outside our ship. Said it was a gift. You and Seraphim look at each other. Gotta be Kurt. Seraphim gets up. It's either a thank you or his way of telling us to get going. Seraphim kicks off and glides out of the cockpit. Hey, so, Bliss smiles. While you two have been busy, so have I. Been looking at the rig's drive, and I reckon it's due to an upgrade. We'll need an engine components, quite a few, so keep an eye out, Bliss shrugs. Ship appears to be a good place to look. Thanks, Bliss. Bliss winks. Anytime, they sigh. Better go help Seraphim with that fuel. As Bliss leaves the cockpit, you find yourself lost in thought, considering your next stop while the icy expanse of Wellspring glitters below. You're free to leave Wellspring. You now have a HAZNAV suit installed and can freely travel through debris fields on the melt mat. Very nice. And we got enough upgrade points, so we're gonna upgrade one of these. I think we do engineering +2. I kind of want to just focus on having engineering. I mean, getting interface or endure +1 would be nice, but I think I want to focus on my strong suit. There we go. So, that mission is complete. Let's just check the map first to see what my plans are. Okay, so I guess we're fine here, so that's why we can't be tracked. But yeah, we could go straight through. But obviously we don't want to go here. Irradiated zone. Because Darkseid blew up, so that's why it's red. Okay, so there we go. There's Scatter Yard. We can go directly there. It costs 16 fuel. Okay, well we can. The Hollow. We do need to go to Greenbelt. So I think next we'll go to Greenbelt. Then probably go to the Hollow. I don't know what's here. And then we'll go like this. Go down here, then to here, then up to here. Not that you guys know this. But there's a little place down here. Fine, I'll move myself briefly for this. As you can see, okay, so we're gonna go down to here, the green belt. Then I'm gonna go to the Hollow, and then we're gonna go to Scatter Yard. That's the plan for the next episode, and I believe the next episode will be the last one. I think we're nearing the end of the game at this point. As you can see, we have only 3 more active missions, and we've done all these missions. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've done 13 out of 16. So, at least that we have anyway. There might be another mission at the Hollow, I'm not sure, but we'll find out in the next episode. We'll use up my die while I'm here. Let me move myself back over. I don't forget in the next part. And yeah, I should stop fueling when I arrive somewhere. I should wait till we leave, because I think I got a bunch of free fuel before, but I already refueled, so I got nothing. So I got free fuel for free, but I should have probably got like a full tank full. Anyways, let's just spend my energy. Buy rare components. I'll buy one rare component. One more, but let's see, anything else? Yeah, nothing. Okay, let's just do the work here. Endure. Get a little bit of money. 13 cryo. I know I'm covering it, but we have 270 right now. 278. 291. 299. There we go. So yeah, now we spent all our energy. We are ready to go to the next area in the next episode. So yeah, I'm glad Seraphine got a sister, but we hopefully solve this area, or all solved. Make this area better, or like peace, or not peace, sorry. Hopefully get people out of like bad contracts and help the workers here actually get like fair treatment. So I'm glad that actually this plan's actually kind of cool. So it's like, because it's on a bunch of ice, right? This is like an ice planet, and they mine ice and then they turn it into water, right? Obviously that's not gonna last forever, but it'll last for a while. Looks like this is a quite big rock. But anyways, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this part. We really only did secure. What's it? Where's the one that we did? Yeah, we found Seraphine's sister. That's all. I think that's all we did this episode. Unfortunately, it's in alphabetical order, not like order of completion. But I'm pretty sure we just did one mission, but it's fine. Actually, yeah, that's all we did. Well, I think we did something in the last part, but I can't remember from what I did last night. It doesn't matter, anyways. I'm rambling. Anyways, I'll see you at the last part. Assuming I would, because you're here.